Oh, welcome back to Straw Hat Crusaders. Are we recording?
We're recording.
All right. Welcome back to Straw Hat Crusaders, the one and only JoJo and One Piece podcast with 4 people on it who record in their house. I think
there's definitely no other podcast with those exact combination of factors.
And the four people here are as follows. I'm Hayden Hartrick. And over to my left is
Adriana.
And over to their left is
I'm Clayton Chalman.
And over to his left is
I'm Josh.
And over to his left is me again.
Whoa.
We're standing in a line. We're in a one
What?
long line.
And then you just
And I ran around to the other side.
No, he's halfway through a portal between his side and my side.
Yeah.
We're just standing really wide stances.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Straw Hat Crusaders. This is the podcast where 3 of us read One Piece, 1 of us watch JoJo's, and we talk about it a bunch. Every week we talk about a little bit more, and we grow ever closer to the end of everything.
That's the game.
Today we got a little bit deeper into Skypiea, and we also got started with JoJo Part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable. Yeah. But before we talk words about art, how's everyone doing? What's been shaking your leg this week?
Josh,
don't start with me. Don't fucking start with me.
Obviously you want to start.
Yeah, you told
You were
us.
making noise.
Mm-hmm.
Go, boy.
I gave plasma this week.
Nice.
Wow.
Not for money, not from out of the goodness of my heart only. Definitely not for the money that they paid me.
Mm-hmm.
And had a great Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Halloween was really nice.
What'd you dress up as?
I was Dean from The Iron Giant. If you've seen The Iron Giant, if you don't know who I'm talking about, watch The Iron Giant and just look for the sexiest character in the movie, and you'll be like, yeah, that's Dean. Also, he says his name's Dean at some point. Yeah, we had. I think we all had a good Halloween. I don't know if I talked about this, but I'm job hunting. And, you know, right now it's a really bad time to be doing that because the world does not like to respond in general to job applications. The whole world is conspiring against me. The other night, or this was a few weeks ago, I don't know if I already told you about this, but I was applying to a government job in the town that I live in. And I was like, oh, a government job, that'll be fun, right? That'll be secure. And what happened was I got to the questionnaire portion. Mind you, I'd already applied through this site, so I'd done an application for a different job. The questions, there was 5 questions, right? I get to this one, and it's an office job. It had 102 questions.
Oh my god!
But I was like,
damn.
and some of them had been auto-filled from last time, but most of them had not. So I was like, all right, well, let's just go through them. Most of them are yes or no. Some of them require some thought. I get to 98, and then it's like, so why do you want to pursue a career in law enforcement? And I realized that this was a desk cop job.
Oh my god!
This is an office job in a sheriff's office of the town that I live in. And I was like, I was so beaten up by that point that I just put, I believe in order, because I was like, I can't just not submit this application, but I don't want this job. For the sake of completion, I need to submit this.
Why can't you just not finish it?
No, because that's so characteristic.
Because then I can say, cross off my to-do list that I applied for a job.
Sure.
So I finished the rest of it, and then I just said, and then I
and you got
said,
a new job.
fuck the world.
You should have just typed, no, I don't.
Yeah. It asked me at one point, cause I was confused because I was like, this is just like an office job in the keeping records. I didn't know what kind of records to that point. It said records officer or something, and I was like, a records official. And so at one point, there were a few points during the questionnaire where some were about like, have you ever been in law enforcement? And I just thought, oh, that's a technicality because they want to know like if I've had other government jobs. At one point, there was one that was like, what's the worst thing you've ever done?
What did you put? What did you answer? How did you answer?
What did you think they were at?
I thought I really was put off by that one. I was like, why the fuck do they need to know that? Whatever. I'm a beggar, not a chooser. So
What did you say?
well, I didn't want to. To be fair, I haven't done a lot of terrible things in my life.
Beg to differ.
But I wasn't going to put whatever the real answer was, nor was I going to think about like real long and hard how I want to phrase that or like what even that would be. Because like I'd have to consult people. If I was going to get into the worst thing I've ever done, I would have to like do a little a peer review, you know?
Just put was born.
Yeah.
Like,
I should have changed it after I realized it was a throwaway questionnaire. But I tried to, do something that sounded really responsible. Like you know how when someone asks what your biggest flaw is, you go, I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So I put, I didn't have a job freshman year of college. It's the worst thing I've ever.
Oh my!
Is be unemployed my freshman year of college. So to make it seem like I'm real I'm really hard on myself and I like have a chip on my shoulder.
If it makes you feel any better, even if you did send in the application, you were not getting that job. You were not.
Fuck you.
You were not getting.
They haven't reached out.
Well, no, honestly, they are probably looking for people with no sense of moral boundaries for themselves. So that will probably read great.
Yeah.
They're like, he thinks the worst thing he's ever done is not have a job.
If
he
you
should
get
be a cop.
interviewed, you should do the interview.
This happened like 2 weeks ago. They didn't. This ain't
Go
happening.
in to do the interview, but wear a fake mustache.
Wear a ski mask.
Yeah.
Let's just start this law enforcement career with lies.
Yeah.
Let's just start it off with
Borrow
dishonest.
Wallace's Halloween costume, which she was Miss Piggy. You should go.
Yeah. Bring a little pig nose in.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Oh wait, no. Only going.
I love pigs. I love when they go.
Little bicycle bell. Anyway, it's enough about me. How was Clayton? How was your week?
Oh my goodness.
And let's talk about JoJo. And how's JoJo been?
Doing a little bit of visual comedy.
We need to. Okay, I'm now officially on board for a video component to this podcast.
Josh saw me
Joke
put a
was-
microphone to my eye like a telescope, and his world was changed.
Anyway, how's your week been?
It's been good. We had parties.
Woo!
Parties.
And then after those parties, I am somebody. My nose is attached to my face as a punishment to me. I've always had sinus and allergy issues ever since I was a kid. I have had 2 deviated septum surgeries.
Whoa.
Oh.
Typically, you're only supposed to ever need one. You're only ever supposed to need one. And I think that it might have re-deviated somehow again after these 2
my
surgeries.
God.
Rebel septum.
So you have a scar underneath, like, from the surgeries?
I don't believe so. I don't know. I actually don't really know anything about it.
You don't know
It's
how
all
they
in
got in
here,
there.
so I don't know where they enter or do
Pointed
normally
to his
they-
nose,
they-
by the way.
Yeah,
Right
we need a
below
video
your-
component. Man.
it. Do I have a scar there?
I don't know. Did you just never checked?
I've never. I didn't think they did that.
Oh, weird. I
But
don't
I don't know. And after those parties, if y'all remember, on Halloween Day we had a little movie night, and I was, if you remember, I was making a lot of trips to go blow my nose, and I had taken allergy pills kind of late in the day, and then I took some Benadryl at night. And I was very stuffy, and I immediately went into this like hellish fever state.
Oh my god.
Where I was like, I started within like an hour of y'all leaving. I was like shaking when I was trying to walk, and I had to like take breaks. And so Ellis got me to bed, and I was just lying in bed, and I felt terrible, and I only fell like half asleep that night. I was like awake and I was looking at my ceiling. But do y'all ever have the moment where you're like in bed and your like mind is dreaming even though you're a little bit awake.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was having that, and I had convinced myself that the stuff, my congestion, was like a monster or alien or something that had infected me. And we'd also just watched Scream, so there was like a lot of elements of Scream in it where I was like, these are the rules to surviving monster. I was just sitting there suffering for like 8 hours, like half awake. I did not have a good couple days. I also felt terrible the entire next day. Hayden saw me like trying to meekly walk around. I was out of bed at like 4 p.m. and then I went back to bed at like 7:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
It was a rough day for me.
You feeling
And
better?
I'm feeling much better now. I think I just needed to sleep a bunch.
Cool. Gotcha. Go ahead.
No.
The Luffy float in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yes.
Probably
Yes.
really helped, right?
I just on my tweet, I saw that Luffy had been announced to be one of the balloons in the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, and that made me cry. But also, I saw the balloon now, and y'all aren't allowed to look at the balloon. There's a slight spoiler on it.
Oh shit.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, do you think we will be caught up enough to not be
Thanksgiving?
spoiled by
Probably
the time
not.
we go to New York for the Thanksgiving episode of Critical Dark?
Oh, you're
of
buying
Straw
us
Hat Crusaders?
tickets to New York?
I already did. We're having the show on Thanksgiving. New
Y'all
York.
won't be too far off, but you're not gonna be there yet.
Okay.
Interesting.
We got to speed this up. Because,
But that's my week, Adriana.
I also did Halloween.
What?
Yep. Wait. Let's say what everyone was. Josh was
Yeah.
Dean.
From Iron Giant.
Yeah.
I
Clayton.
was Eddie Valiant from My Friend Brother Rabbit.
From who?
From huh?
What?
You just breathed out
he
the
said
title.
from-
I was Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
It was awesome. I was Ben 10.
It was great.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Very
And
good.
I was Sexy Waluigi.
Yeah.
For the second year in a row.
For the second
the
year in a-
people were
That's right.
pissed. They were
They
livid.
They
Okay,
people were mad at
I
me.
definitely saw it and I was like, this is familiar. And I didn't place why.
No, but I added a new thing. I opened up my midriff, all right? I made it a little sexier. It changed a little bit.
Oh, you were sexier Waluigi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got the
Interesting.
mustache, like, right.
Next year, you have to be sexiest Waluigi.
That's where I'm just naked.
You're naked,
Naked with a
the
mustache and nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can imagine all of those 4 people in the same room.
Yes.
We're wearing our costumes right now.
Yeah.
That's how you should just imagine us for all the episodes if you don't know what we look like.
Actually, I do look I didn't have to do much to look
No,
like Ben
you
10.
just
I
looked like
put on
Ben.
this shirt and
Do y'all want to hear a real quick fun fact
okay.
about our listenership? I think I've told some of y'all this.
Yeah.
I was looking at our audience statistics.
And this is on
for the
Spotify, right?
podcast. I assume that these metrics are just measured on Spotify, but that is where a large amount of our viewership comes from. 15% of our listeners' geographic location, 15% is coming from India.
Yeah. That's great.
Which, like, there's other, like, small bits from other countries.
Could they be bots?
Maybe?
I doubt it. Why would?
But,
Why would bots listen?
hey, if you're listening from India,
Thank you.
hell yeah, thank you. You're awesome.
Thanks. Keep listening.
You just called them bots. Shut up, Josh.
Yeah,
No,
you're
if
mean.
for those
They'll
of you that are
hate you.
real, keep listening. If you're fake, honestly, just keep listening. We don't mind the.
Yeah, if
views.
you're
We don't
fake,
mind if
honestly,
you
listen
listen.
harder.
I'm on YouTube. YouTube doesn't get the same viewership, except the first 2 episodes kind of did. But I'll have like it'll be the first 2 hours of posting, and then it'll be like, you have 4 views, and I'll be like, oh hell yeah, that's 4 whole people. And then I'll check back later that day, and it's like you have no views because YouTube removes fraudulent
They
or fake.
unwatched it.
Whoa.
Yeah, removes like fake. There are bots, I guess, that want to watch. They want to learn.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Ultrons floating
Yeah.
around trying to grab our data.
They want to understand One Piece and JoJo.
True.
Joe.
Adriana, how was your week?
My week was fine. I'm just very after Halloween. It kind of really like settled in how like busy I am now from now until the end of the semester. Like it was literally like a very much a benchmark of like, oh, up until now I'm chilling, and then that weekend happened, and now it's like everything's happening all the time. So yeah, I've been busy, just stuff. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I had it was a very fun week, but a very exhausting week. I had Halloween stuff. We had parties, and I also had a show I was in that it's last weekend was here. I did a double back-to-back shows. It was like a emo pop punk musical thing, very high energy stuff. And we did back-to-back performances on Halloween night, and I was very exhausted the next day. I slept a bunch and just kind of chilled out all Wednesday, which was nice. I bought a new bed frame, and my bed frame came in. And then I found out that I had been living for like 2.5 years thinking my bed was a queen, when in actuality it's a full. And I ordered a queen size bed frame. So it's a little silly. And then I was at work for 12 hours yesterday, and it was awesome.
That's crazy.
Good time. I left at 2 in the afternoon, and I got home at 2 in the morning.
Beautiful.
Damn.
But that's enough about real life. Let's talk about fake life. Fake life in a new
Are
town.
we starting with JoJo?
Noisy Bizarre Town?
So crazy.
Yeah.
So noisy.
That's honestly, for this one, it shouldn't even be called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It should be called JoJo's Bizarre like Summer, or JoJo's Bizarre Town.
Sometimes the summer can be an adventure, Josh.
And sometimes a town can be an adventure. Josh.
Sometimes a serial killer can be an adventure.
Josh.
What if I just like started crying?
It'd be
What
really
if I
funny.
started just like tearing?
Yeah, then we do need a visual component for
Yeah.
when Josh cry. When we make Josh cry,
We need the Josh cry
Well,
cam.
I still wanna, before we get into it, like part of me really wants to look more at those demographics, like
we can
at
do
some
that
point. We can do that later,
Yeah,
but
we can do that off.
but I'm so interested. Like, where's the rest of the viewership coming from? Do we have any like in Britain?
We have small chunks in Germany and then one other country. I don't remember right now. Most of it America, like 80% America. We got like 52% male viewership, and then we have a solid 17% non-binary audience, which is more than I would have thought.
Those are all
You're
JoJo fans.
welcome, you guys. You're welcome.
Those are all. Wow.
But yeah, should we?
Yeah,
Let's get into
Yeah.
Let's get into
So-
it.
We got a whole new part to
Clayton,
talk about.
you started a new part in JoJo.
I did.
It's been years.
Uh-huh.
And before, I mean, now that you've had part 3 kind of settle for you, how you feeling rolling into this?
So I will say, it's so funny. I do this after every part. I'm gonna bump my rating down for part 3 by 1. I think I was writing the high
to leave room.
You were writing the high, yeah.
And I was also coming off of like the best part of part 3 that I wasn't maybe thinking of the whole picture. And while the great parts of part 3 are that 8, I think overall I'd say probably a 7.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I have trouble rating things. Is because I know that it's like I'm biased for whatever recency bias, you know? Yeah.
I completely understand where you're coming from. And I also just happen to have the same feeling about it, but even so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But is that because of like what you saw today, or is that because of
I decided that before I saw the episodes.
Gotcha.
I think it's just that I wasn't thinking about all the in between bits. I was just thinking about my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Those are the parts that stuck with me. But
Absolutely.
there was a lot that was not that. But now I'm feeling excited to start a new part. We've got Jotaro back. We've got Josuke, who is shaping up to be quite nice. Jotaro's 28 now? Is that
Yeah.
right? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Right?
It's been about 10 to 11 years.
Isn't it cool. Like, I don't know. I just think aged up characters are cool when they don't. Because normally it's so mysterious, but they're just like, yeah, let me tell you about what happened to Jotaro after his. Like, I just like when they do that without being mysterious.
For sure. And you get a lot of tidbits about Jotaro.
Yeah, he's a marine biologist now.
Yes, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Or an oceanographer. I think that's the actual thing he is, but like he gets called. The translation's always kind of like list like 3 different jobs he's doing, but it's all technically.
He likes water.
He does water shit.
Because he
Marine-
fell in love under the submarine, and he saw that little magazine, and was like,
Yes!
I want to
So
be.
glad you remember the magazine.
Of course.
That was
of course.
Now that was an
funny.
anime choice
But
because
then
they knew.
I saw. Oh my god.
Yeah, they knew what he was because they knew what he was gonna be in part 4.
I didn't notice it until after I rewatched part 3 and I saw it and I'm like, oh, he's reading a magazine about the ocean.
Because he just spent time doing a little bit of snorkeling away from trying to get away from High Priestess.
Marine biologists stay winning.
It's funny that you'd think he would hate the ocean after dealing with like 2 different ocean stands, like Dark Blue Moon, and also like getting sucked into a vortex by Dark Blue Moon, and then also having to deal with strength, and then also having to deal with almost being destroyed in a submarine. Like, I would hate the ocean. But Jotaro
He just loved that water.
He does.
He hates sharks. He does hate sharks for sure. His soul couldn't hide that.
Yeah. He's a lot older now. And how do you feel about Jotaro so far?
I'm liking his kind of role in this. It feels like there's still a little bit of give and take as far as like the torch being passed down. Jotaro was almost kind of our POV character for these first episodes.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I know that Josuke is the protagonist of this one. It feels like we are still following Jotaro on this story. And I'm curious to see when that transition happens, if it does happen.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking how he's used. I'm very interested in seeing him as more of a like mentor type, especially to Josuke, who's he's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about Josuke?
I really like it. Right off the bat, probably my favorite character design of the series thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy
great
the look of
design.
him. He's got the little heart and the peace sign, which is very fun. Also, Jotaro's little hat things, his little golden heart up there. Big fan.
Yeah. Who would have thought you'd see Jotaro in white?
I know.
And the hat still blends in with his hair. They just don't like give a fuck anymore. They're like, it's part of his hair.
Does he ever take that hat off?
I don't.
You will never see
know.
Jotaro's
I don't
hair
think
again.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't.
You will
No,
never
you don't.
see his hair again.
You don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best, though.
Trust me, we all want to know. There are some characters in JoJo where you're like, just take it off. We gotta know. We gotta know. Please take the hat off. And they never do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like Josuke's power. His stand is really cool. Crazy Diamond,
Crazy
is that correct?
Crazy Diamond.
It's really cool the way he uses it, because I knew what the basic idea of the ability was, but I had no idea how interesting it was going to be used.
Of course.
The way he like punches through people and puts stuff inside them and does all that. Like, that's awesome. And it's also, I was not expecting it to be seemingly Star Platinum-esque in the way that it can like, it's really good at fighting up close and really strong and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. A little beatdown stage.
There is so what, you thought it would be more of like a weird outlet stand or something like that?
Well, I think I just thought with that power that would be like what it does.
The main power.
Yeah.
I was cool because it is like used really creatively, and you could kind of tell, like with Star Platinum, he was like figuring out new shit like Starfinger and like all this stuff, but you could tell with him it's like very run of the like he's had it for a while.
Yeah.
So he's like used to, like, he's already done all the experimentation.
Well, actually, Jotaro goes into he meets Josuke, who had just beat up some bullies.
Yes.
And had healed a little turtle that he was afraid to touch. And he starts listing off everything he knows about Josuke. I don't know if you caught anything, if you drew any conclusions from what he told him.
What did he tell them?
Well, he was like, when you were 4, in 1980, well, it's retcon now, but in 1987, when you were 4, you were sick for 50 days, and no one knew if you were going to survive or not.
Oh, he got his stand way early.
He got his stand during the events of Stardust Crusaders. Because that was the 50 days that
Holly
Holly
was
was also
for 50
sick.
days.
Whoa.
Because he's a descendant of Jonathan's body.
That's great.
Isn't that
That's
awesome?
That's
so
really
he's
good.
had it since he was that age. You know?
Well, we didn't know that part yet, so.
You did, because he says it in the...
Yeah, he talked about in the episode. He's like, I've had this since I was a kid.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't.
It's
You have to assume. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
He's had it for a while.
pretty
He's gotten
clear.
a lot of time to figure out how
Uh-huh.
to use his
That's
stand.
not really
he's
like
had it
any
since he was
kind
a
of.
kid.
That's not really important to the plot necessarily. It's more important to like where Josuke fits into the established timeline and everything.
He's that close to the family tree.
He
I mean,
is.
obviously.
He is.
Yeah.
But he's a little estranged.
Yeah, well, because he's
Jotaro's
fucking
uncle.
Joseph's son, which
Yeah,
also, I didn't really realize this until we were sitting down to record, and I was thinking about it. You can really see the Joseph in him.
Oh,
yeah.
He's very clever. He's very smart. And he's also got a bit of a temper, which I really enjoy from him. He does remind me of Joseph a lot.
Yeah.
He rearranges a guy's fucking bones to get revenge on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a little bit evil. He's like a nice guy,
Well,
but he's a little bit evil.
I don't know if the fucked up things that happen to what he heals is like on purpose. I don't know. It is. I
Yeah.
thought it was just because he like flies off the handle and like doesn't heal things properly because he's so mad.
Oh, it could be that too, but typically
Yeah.
it's like since he has the option to always restore things to their original state. Whenever he doesn't, it's like definitely because he wanted it to be that way, even if it wasn't wasn't a conscious
it's just
choice.
that I thought it was just that he like was so emotional that he didn't care about making sure that it was healed.
It could be
correctly.
that. Yeah, it could be that.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, Joseph cheated on his fucking wife. Joseph
I
cheated.
know.
On
Joseph
Susie
cheated on
Q.
Yeah.
Susie Q
It does not
with
shock me.
a 21-year-old.
He was 68.
62. He was 62, and she was
62.
21. You said it doesn't surprise you, Clayton.
Him cheating. I guess it doesn't shock me. Joseph seems the type to wander and stray.
Yeah.
Especially he's got that real estate tycoon money. He's always traveling.
I love Jotaro being like, that fucking bastard. Talking about how he'd only ever love his wife.
Yeah.
He fucked your mom when he was 62, Josuke.
And then Josuke apologizes for being born.
It's really great.
Yeah.
I remember just loving, I didn't know Josuke's lineage. Did you know where he was going to be?
No, I knew he was vaguely related, but that's all.
Yeah. I remember realizing like, oh yeah, where the fuck is Josuke going to be in this whole, is he Jotaro's son? Nope. Close. He's Jotaro's uncle. But yeah, as you'll notice, like this is the first part that doesn't have a huge time gap as big as between parts 1, 2, and 3. Because Araki does this thing where he does not like to write too far into the future. He likes to stay relatively contemporary to when he's writing, which is something I really appreciate. But because of that, he had to find new ways to have a new JoJo that don't involve being, the last one's offspring. So the family tree might get pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah. Then you get to meet his mom. You get to meet
Tomoko?
Yes, I was a big fan of her. She immediately smashes a guy's face through his window after setting him up for a little layup joke to dunk on him. She's like, we can go anywhere, then go to hell by yourself, and smashes his face, which was good. And then her pig dad shows up. He's nice. He dies so quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly.
Hey, Cab.
Which is like appreciated that he's the, I don't know, it's not the, oh, my mom died or my wife died. You know what I mean? How it's always like the hero's sacrifice at the beginning is always like just some woman. But yeah, it was
just
sad.
Grandpappy.
Grandfather.
Yeah.
He got his Uncle Ben moment.
And it is sad. I mean, relatively, it's not like the most tragic thing
Right.
in JoJo, but it's definitely like a wow, shit got serious fast.
It sets the stakes appropriately. It's not like, oh my god, my mom, like that's your mom. You know, I mean, not to say that. Yeah, like it's not as dark as like him killing a parent.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What was your kind of impression in the opening? There's a little opening scene where someone's making breakfast. And then,
and then there's a hand. So there seems to be some sort of evil hand somewhere that is doing things.
Yeah.
So I know what that is, of course. And it's interesting. There's a guy doing stuff that's bad, kind of.
Did you notice anything different about the art? The art style?
Oh yeah, the art. How do you feel about it?
The art. I love the way this looks. I like it so much more than part 3.
Yeah.
It's so much more stylized. They've got those like really heavy inky lines, especially on the faces.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look at the auras too. This like the stand auras.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then also the sky yellow.
Right.
Yeah. Get used
That's
to that.
crazy.
That's just how the sky looks now.
Hell yeah. I love it. The color palettes it's already just a lot more interesting, and they were doing a lot more to change that. They put a film grain on one of them when it was like there was like detective stuff going on. I don't remember what the moment was, but they slapped a film grain on it, which I thought was cool. Overall, just visually knocks it out of the park. I really like the way it looks.
Yeah.
And
the opening too is new.
the new opening. The new opening was very good. It sounds like Uptown Funk.
It
really
does.
does.
So many people have like made edits of the it's funny.
But it was really good. It was really cute. I like the song, and I feel like I will grow to appreciate this intro a little bit more once I know these characters a little more.
I really love it because it really sets the tone for the part really well.
Yeah. And Josuke is just he strikes his little poses in that intro.
He can strike a damn pose.
Yeah, he is I'm a fan. I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that intro is Koichi striking a little pose.
Yeah, oh my god.
For like
Koichi
5
pose.
seconds of just standing there awkwardly. Yeah.
I love Koichi so
I
much.
laughed
What are
so
your
hard.
thoughts on
So Koichi,
Little short king.
I'm a little scared
Short king.
because some of my least favorite characters thus far have been the fuck ass kid from the first part, Smokey. Smokey grew on me,
Yeah.
But the child and
the
Anne
children.
And
and I don't
and the
like.
runaway.
Koichi and Josuke are like the same age.
they're both
What?
first years.
They're both
Koichi's a
first
first
year.
year.
Oh yeah, they had the same
Koichi
class.
Is
Yeah.
5 feet tall.
Well, he's 5.
Did
He's
you know that?
canonically 5'2", but he's drawn like he is 2 feet
5'2".
tall.
He's 5'2".
He's 5'2". He comes up to Josuke's knee.
Yes.
No, Koichi is very much on their level
Okay.
in terms of age.
Yeah.
Not like a
he's-
dumb kid.
He's
Uh-huh.
just a small person.
He's just a small little guy.
He's a short
Uh-huh.
king.
Yeah.
So as of yet, well, he saw a glimpse of a stand, right?
No,
No,
he has no idea what the fuck's
He
going on.
Okay.
saw. I think the moment you're thinking of, he just saw that there were holes in them. Like
That's
that-
what it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So then seemingly he's going to be a character that's hanging around with no stand. Maybe he will get a stand. I don't know. I don't know. As of yet, he's just a
He's just a
kid
guy,
that's
yeah.
there.
He's just a guy.
He's not done much yet.
Yeah. He's also like the whole like a narrator-ish type character so far.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Like on the outside.
It's very nice because it's like this is kind of like the first time that you get a proper like audience surrogate character of like, oh shit, somebody who is going to like who is here. A larger part of the story like is taken a little bit more as like less of like a pop-in character and being like, oh, there's a like this is how I'm seeing the world, so the audience can kind of see that. I really love that about Koichi.
Yeah, especially watching like stand battles through the eyes of somebody who doesn't see the stands. I think would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see a little battle. Josuke gets his first taste of a proper stand battle with Jotaro for a minute. Where I love that moment so much. Where he's like not used to ever fighting anyone who has a stand, and so he happens to face the strongest stand user just ever. And then
it reminds me of it reminds me of like when a dog gets like really like upset, and then a cat just like smacks it with its paw like really quick. Like that's what Jotaro did to him right in the face, and then the dog just like forgets what he was doing. It's just like memory is reset.
Also, Jotaro, who's like he fought Mr. Dio. He was like he was impressed by how strong Josuke's stand was.
He definitely was caught off guard.
He was a little bit scared even at moments. He was like, oh shit, this kid might fucking kill me. Which is interesting.
He also mentioned that it's been 10 years since he's used the time stop ability.
Yes, he did.
Which I was surprised by.
You think like a normal person, I'd be spamming that if I got that ability.
Yeah.
I'd be like, anytime something is about to inconvenience me, I'd be using it.
Yeah.
But Jotaro, I don't know, I guess he just like, my headcanon, because it's never explained why he doesn't do it, my headcanon is that he just has PTSD whenever he's in stopped time because of all of his first experiences with that were fighting Dio and being helpless.
He also made mention in this episode, right, that he's like last time he stopped time for half a second, like not long at all. Right?
Yeah. He was only able to stop time for half a second because he hasn't trained it. Yeah.
I also kind of assumed that he just hasn't. I assumed he hasn't been fighting stands. He's been off doing his boat stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
He's been making PowerPoints about seahorses or something.
Because
we can only hope that he'd had a peaceful life after that.
He beat Dio.
Yeah.
So maybe he got to just go relax.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think Jotaro is definitely one of the most like fleshed out characters out of the whole thing. Like the detail, like you keep on learning stuff about him. It's I don't know, it just like the show loves Jotaro. He just like loves writing.
Araki, I think, found a new favorite with Jotaro. I think Joseph was one that was hard for him to let go. Jotaro may also be hard for him to let go now that he's in part 4. But he gets a taste of Star Platinum. Crazy Diamond is a stand that is kind of similar to Star Platinum, and even you could say the world. A lot of people draw comparisons between Crazy Diamond and the world's design. Some people like to attribute that to their familial connection.
I can see that,
Yeah, but the bloodline continues, and it's as powerful as ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we have a little serial killer action. You get your
Angelo.
Not a fan of this guy.
Yeah, no one is.
Yeah, he shows up. They tell us like 4 different horrible things he did.
Yeah.
He bites the face off of a dog and spits his blood into the owner's mouth. If you're biting the dog's face out, you probably could have just killed that guy with your hands.
Yeah.
But he has a stand called Aqua Necklace, which also both the designs. I like the design of Crazy Diamond. This one also felt like a design that was maybe a little bit of a step up.
It was a good design.
The Part 3 design.
Yes.
It reminds me a lot of the Empress.
Yes, I was gonna say the same.
The one on the arm. They
they
feel very similar to me in
the shape.
A lot of people compare it to Geb as well, and Duel's stand Geb.
Yeah, he's got a little water stand.
Little water boy. So he tries to kill our boys. But he doesn't get away with it, does he? No.
Because Josuke tapes a rubber glove to the inside of his throat.
I also, when he pulled it out, I was like, did he tape a rubber glove? And then he said a line. He cut up the glove and swallowed it. So it was in his stomach all cut up. So he had Crazy Diamond heal it and pull it out. Yeah. And then, bring it back in.
That's better.
It's a
Because I was
way
like,
better than
was he
just
just
him,
sitting there like,
he's sitting there choking.
Yeah, honestly, either way, I thought it was still good. And again, much like his estranged father, he had a clever little plan.
Yeah.
He was sassy about it too. He was like, I don't know what he's talking about because I'm not fucking laughing right now. As he like pulled him out of there. Also, when he like looked out the window and like shook the glove up to show where he was.
And Angela flies out of the tree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Big Josuke is he's making his mark very quickly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited to see more of him.
Yeah. And I also like the vogueness of him, how he poses so much and stuff. It's nice to see like I mean, not quite like effeminate, but like definitely like compared to the hyper masculine JoJo's we've had so far, a break from that.
I mean, back then they'd probably call him metrosexual. The metrosexual JoJo.
Did they?
No.
Okay.
But it's 1999, so
Yeah.
that was a word they liked back then.
If we were talking about it back in 1999.
Yeah.
I know I would have.
The girls love him though. This is another JoJo that doesn't have problems in that department.
I mean, he's got that hair.
He's got that freaking hair, dude.
That hair.
He's got that steak, that grilled steak hair.
Yeah.
Really
Don't let him hear you say that.
Yeah,
Do
don't
not
let
him
We
hear you
can't.
say
We
that.
got to make sure he's not around when we say.
He also, this is the first JoJo who's not a big jacked guy, which I do appreciate.
He's still noted as being tall for his age because this is the youngest JoJo we've met. He's 16.
Because if Koichi is 5 feet, he's 15 feet tall.
Yep.
Josuke is 5'11".
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 16. He looks like he could be 16.
Yeah.
Like, through a growth
But
spurt
But especially for a Japanese teenager, like I know like their average height there is like 5'7". So like that's something, I guess. He's still though. They're starting to become normal men. Starting to become
We're
innocent.
just men.
Innocent men.
We're just normal men.
We're just innocent men. And so thank God for that. Crazy Diamond, Aqua Necklace, Smash or Pass.
Smash Crazy Diamond.
Whoa.
Pass Aqua Necklace.
Wow. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had a Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
When do they start getting hot? When do they start getting
Like
supple?
really hot.
When do they start getting really
Part
hot?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. Part 5.
Part 5.
All
There's
right.
one in part 6 that makes me cry. How beautiful it is.
Interesting. I'll have to ask you about the. I cannot make out what you're saying with
The
your
main
mouth.
stand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, come on.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I didn't.
I don't
get
see
either,
it, but
Bro,
all right,
what
man.
are you talking about?
Show me.
Yeah,
I could.
we'll do this
We'll wait.
later.
Do this later.
I wanted to talk for just a moment because
Do it.
we get another classic, like, punishment of
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
severe, like almost I
Severe
think
consequence.
worse than Cars. Like
No,
on,
not
on,
worse than
on
Cars.
the
Not
level
worse.
of Cars at least.
No.
Cars at least got to see space.
And Cars.
But
like,
Cars-
No, but Cars didn't have any.
Stimulation.
Yeah, it was emptiness. It was emptiness.
Exactly. It was emptiness so he could stop thinking.
I
Angelo
guess.
got to see people for eternity.
You think he's not gonna die?
No.
Well, I guess if
He rock now.
If he was still aging, he would have starved to death. So, yeah,
But,
maybe
yeah.
he's immortal now? Question
He
mark. Or
rocked.
it's just a dead body in a rock.
No, he is just a rock now. He's a live rock now.
He's just a living rock.
Jotaro-
Wait, so Josuke has the ability to make people into different, like he can make them a rock?
He just
Clayton-
combined their molecules.
Clayton, don't think about it too hard, okay?
All you need to know is he's rock now.
It's said
He is the Angelo
that
Rock.
the Angelo Rock
Yeah.
turned into like a spot where lovers meet, like
Uh-huh.
a town staple or whatever.
I'll be honest. It's not clear
It's really not
whether
clear.
he dies or not.
Yeah.
But he definitely is going to be a rock for the rest of his however long his life is. The rest of it is Rock Angelo now.
Yeah, and in my mind, he is a rock forever. He can
Okay.
see forever.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a landmark for lovers.
Yeah. As soon as he was like backing up to the big rock, I was like,
Oh yeah.
uh-oh. I know where this is
It's
going.
rock time.
I want to. So this is my first time rewatching part 4.
I think
Wow.
Oh no,
And
yeah.
one of the things I noticed that I can't talk too in detail about, but there's a lot of things I noticed in this first episode that are setting up things for later in like landmarks and
Yeah.
other locations that are important in the rest of the part
Yeah.
that I saw, and I was like, go!
Yeah.
Can you give a hint as to what you're talking about?
There was one in the very beginning of the episode that was mentioned. There were a couple of things that you see in wider shots that I got called attention to, but I'll talk about this off the podcast.
What the hell?
There's a shot when Josuke looks into the crowd. If you look closely in the back, there's some silhouettes that might become.
There is someone.
There are some silhouettes that might become very familiar.
Yeah.
There's someone with
They did a
certain
lot.
earrings.
There was so much love put into this adaptation of part 4. It is
Yeah.
so nice to watch and to. I never need to read it.
I loved the beginning where he's driving in and it says part 4 on the road.
Yeah.
It's like a
Ugh.
title card.
God, it's just so stylish. It's so nice. It feels like a town outside of time. It feels like its own really like
Josh, you fool.
area.
It is 1999.
I know.
They said that.
But they do everything they can to make it feel, because this is the first fictional place, I think, in JoJo. If you think about it, Morio is not a real town. It's based off of Araki's hometown.
Based off of Oreo.
Oh, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
was not supposed to be funny.
It was serious.
It was serious.
Yeah. You said you had a ranking for us of the openings you're familiar with,
Yes.
right?
Of the openings that I have seen, I went ahead. I thought Josh would like this. I assume this will be the last thing we do for JoJo's.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go bottom to top. Coming in at number 5. I went and listened to all of these just to like have everything fresh.
Did you already put the new one in there?
Yes.
Listen to them or watch them.
Listened and watched them. Coming in at number 5, listening to this one, I did not care for it. This was the only one that I really was like, I don't like this one. And that is going to be Sono Chino Sodomy.
What?
Not for everyone.
Wow.
I don't really like it. I mean, maybe once I'm more of a big JoJo head, I'll be like, this is where it all started.
Yeah.
And I like the visuals of it. Don't like that song.
Okay.
Especially. Coming in at number 4, this one I like more, but it doesn't do a whole lot for me. That's going to be Stand Proud.
Right.
I enjoy it. I think it's good. Coming in at number 3, this one is fun. My mouth made a little noise. That is going to be the new one, Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I like it. I think it's really good. I just like the other two a little bit more.
Yeah.
Bloody Stream is going to be my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of it. It's just really good, really solid.
Yeah.
And y'all already know that End of the World is my number 1.
Totally.
And I feel like it'll hold that
Yeah.
spot for a little bit at least.
I think
Which is
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't hear too
I know.
terribly often.
No.
Is Into the World being number 1. Not a lot of people have it up there in their tops.
Which is cool because that's the one that got all the ending changes and sound effects and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what saves it for a lot of people. That's what people always talk about with that ending. Like, even if they don't like the whole thing, they still attribute that was the one that did it. That was the one that did the interruption. The villain interrupts the opening, and that's just like such a fun little twist, when you're watching it, because it's right after you find out about the time stop. But yeah, that typically people don't respond to it as like, wholeheartedly as you do. I like how original your take is. Honestly.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
We're really sounding like that's such an interesting choice.
No, it makes sense. I mean,
heard that a lot.
There is not an opening. Again, there's not an opening in JoJo that is bad, in my opinion. Like, not a single one's a dud.
Well, there's one from. I'm kidding. I don't hate that one.
Yeah, be careful, buddy.
Yeah.
Josh just pulled a gun on Clayton and made him take it back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pulled a
gun.
Remember when I thought Josuke's grandpa actually pulled a real gun on him?
Yeah.
I totally forgot that it was a fake gun. It was
That's
the
so
time
funny. He's
where
like, "Why aren't you in
he was
school?"
like, why aren't you in school?
I love that
classic
fucking
cop
moment.
stuff.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. It really is.
It really is.
Yep.
It's like idiot's a toy. He rides a bike. Okay, he's not the. He's the good apple.
Okay. All right. When does your
And
job
on
start?
that-
When is your job at the sheriff office?
Yeah, guys, I hate to say it.
We're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, blue lives.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
We're gonna go to a place where blue lives do not matter.
Yeah, that's for
One
sure.
piece. One
We're
piece.
going to a place where
I'm trying to just gave up.
Adriana just thought about the world out there.
What were you about to say?
I don't even remember. I don't know. I was like, I
You
thought
seem
that-
so sure.
I know. I thought there was something that I came up with, but I didn't come up with anything.
It's been. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you guys.
It's been so long since we've talked
It's
about.
been so long,
It really
and
has.
I'm pissed about it.
Me too. I'm
Blue
angry.
sea lives, Matt. There you go.
Yeah.
Deep blue lives
Deep blue
matter.
The all blue lives. Oh no! The all blue. Sorry, north blue. Grand Line
You know
lives
what?
matter.
Fucking
Who gives a shit?
island in the sky is going to get destroyed. That's yeah. That's where we're.
We forgot how to talk about One Piece.
It's been just for context.
It's been 1 week
because of the
since you
finale
looked at me.
episode, we like our scheduling got thrown off, and so
Holy
it has been
shit.
like
2 weeks.
2 weeks of sitting on this one little chunk. We haven't talked about One Piece in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and it's invaded my body.
I'm glad if it had to be any chunk, it was this one.
Yes.
Not because this one is like not good, but because it's. I feel like there's a very select few things that really need to be discussed.
It's the penultimate one to the.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I still don't feel like I'm, except for the ending of this batch, I wasn't like dying to talk about.
I literally want to talk about the ending more than anything else, but we can talk about the other stuff first.
Yeah. So what happened this time? It is.
They're so lost in that jungle.
They're
They're
lost.
lost.
They get
Jungle.
separated. Wapple's on the come up. Let's not talk about it.
I want to
Oh.
kill. I want to kill
Shoot him
Waffles.
with
So
a
why does he
gun.
get? He gets a happy end. Can we
He
talk about
worked
this for a
hard.
second?
He
No, he
worked hard.
didn't. No, he didn't. That man. This is the like. I am so mad about Waffles' ending and what happened to him. He got
Ending?
successful,
What,
and then
what
he,
makes you think it's the end?
they changed to a new.
It's so funny.
Oh, what makes you think it's the end?
It changed to a new story. We're talking about Ace now.
I think physically I'm like very tired right now. And
It's
it's like,
awesome.
it's all hitting me like, okay. Like crying.
They switched to Ace's story.
Yes. Fuck yes.
That was
And
awesome.
I'm so happy
Yes.
that we're finally seeing a character I care
Oh my
about have
God.
a cover story. But
Yeah.
Wapple, I wanted to see him publicly executed. I want to see his head roll off of its
I
body.
don't think it's the end, Hayden. I don't think
I
so.
hope he goes
Only
to
Clayton
jail
knows.
for
It
tax
probably
fraud.
Is.
I hope he goes to prison for tax fraud.
It might be. You know what I see coming is like a villain reunion or like a villain like convergence.
Like a Sinister Six?
no, like not
Legion of Doom,
like, not like something like.
Injustice League.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to think of other villain. The Rogues?
He just looked at the ceiling.
The Rogues. What's that?
That's Flash's
Oh.
villain team.
Like not like, oh, let's all plan to be villains together, but like, oh my god, what are the odds all these villains are just like a cesspool of villains that are like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
On
Yeah.
Villain Island.
On Villain Island.
Well, a
yeah,
lot of them would
they're
have a
on
common
Villain
enemy.
Island.
A lot of them
Yeah.
would. Hey, none of them like Luffy. I tell you that much.
Right.
Oh, we
Except
are
Buggy.
gonna
Buggy
get-
is in love with Luffy.
But with all of these, like other, like Morgan is still out there. Like,
Yeah.
fucking just all the.
Django?
I don't know, just like all of the.
Django is
minor-
Unchained.
Well, Django, he is a villain, of course, but
Django's
he's now
doing the
a
chaining
cop.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Django is chaining.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just so many people who are like major and minor, like villains and like antagonists. There's so many of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna do with them all. I think they should all just like
Right. Exactly.
form up to like plan an attack on the Straw Hats, but then they get like nuclear blasted. They get a nuke, just takes them all out.
The plutonium or whatever.
Yeah, the Pluton.
The Pluton just
Takes them all
blows
out
them
except Buggy,
except Buggy.
because that's the only one that I really.
And
care about.
Wapple gets a whole page devoted to him burning to death.
Wapple gets the
Jesus.
Angelo Rock treatment. Josuke
Oh
comes
my
in
God.
through a
If
portal.
anybody deserves it.
Yeah.
You know what? Wapple is getting his punishment because now he is in capitalism, and now
But he's at the top
Oh,
of it.
He's
what?
winning
Oh.
capitalism.
He's winning.
He's
I am
exploiting
not-
wor-
you guys. When I'm starting sentences lately, I'm not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah. Adriana's like,
You're
everyone is a victim
going
of
for it.
capitalism, even Jeff Bezos.
The rest of this podcast, you might just have to take what I say with a grain of salt.
That's so
I'm
funny.
not firing on
refuse.
all
No, I
cylinders right
get,
now.
totally get what you were getting at. You know, he used to have it all made for him. Now he's got to hustle.
He's going to hell now for corporate greed. It's
Yes.
damnation.
It's damnation. That's an inside joke from earlier.
All right, y'all.
So with this,
the real
this,
story.
Wiper.
This section starts with what Kami's like 5 will be left.
Yes.
5 will be left in 3 hours after this battle royale that is set to happen on in the upper yard. There will be 5 left. That is my prophecy.
Yes.
And then Wiper one shots Shura.
Yeah.
Shit was actually badass.
What?
Wiper,
the fucking
when he
impact.
shows up and he does that little dial thing. Wiper is I fucking love Wiper. He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's growing on
He
me.
was pretty
I hated
cool.
him at first, but he's growing on me.
Yep.
Yeah. He's kind of an asshole, but like he walks the fucking walk.
He is an ass. I mean, because right off the bat, we get the scene of Ganfor trying to negotiate with him.
Yeah.
And it's a scene that I think Oda really writes that character well.
Yeah.
Of Wiper being there and is like, yeah, we appreciate you trying to give us our land back, but we're not going to be happy until we've killed you and your family and all of your descendants. And Wiper is like about that life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see where that goes.
Well, he's down for the count now,
Yes.
but somehow
Is he dead?
didn't die. I don't know.
He's
That's
not
the thing.
dead.
I don't know.
I
Like,
am
it's
not.
never-
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
Okay, I gotta
I mean-
say, they crossed another line with me at the end of this. We'll get to that later, but
We don't have to. It's not. We don't
Yeah.
have to go
okay.
chronologically.
Yeah, you're right. It feels like stakes get set up with how powerful certain characters are, and then their attacks do not. All they do is make them look black and ashy.
Not with how powerful characters are.
How
With-
deadly
with-
their attacks are.
No, with the stakes of like a certain mechanism. Like it's not oh my god, Anel that killed him. It was supposed to kill him. It was the rejectile that was supposed to kill him. And it got set up, it got drilled. That's
forgot
the
about
thing,
that,
is, like,
yeah.
there's so many that I will be honest, like most of the time I can just like go with the flow, but this time it was a little bit like, what is the point of setting up what is the point? It just feels dangerous to play with the trust of the audience that way.
Yes.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it.
The impact dial. First, he uses it before we ever know what it is. Then they explain it, and we're like, damn, Wiper survived that? I guess he's tough. And then he says straight up, and I appreciated this at first, he was like, I use this one more time, I'm done. Like, my body cannot handle another one of these. He uses it. He uses it again on Enel. It fucks Enel up for a minute, and it fucks him up. It fucks Wiper up for a minute, and then it felt like none of those stakes really held through. I imagine Oda has a point he's trying to make about the will of these characters and their strength, their inner strength about it, but I just don't think now was the time to do that.
I think as well, the reject dial is one of the most egregious ones because I think a lot of times we see characters. Oda doesn't do deaths very often. They definitely happen, but especially with the reject dial, it is one of the few times that Oda is like, if this happens, this character will die. And then he does it, and he doesn't die.
Yeah.
And so that is frustrating for sure.
Yeah. But Ganfor and Konus's dad died, right? That's what we have.
He got blasted. Yeah.
I don't think he's dead, but Pagara is dead.
They both were in the beam.
Not Ganfor.
Really?
Ganfor was in the final 5.
Oh my God, you're right.
I'm
thinking of someone else. I switched.
Pagara was with a former soldier of.
I knew it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was a semi-important character and then an even less important character, and I just like filled in with Ganfor and then less important Konus's dad.
Yeah.
But really, it was Konus's dad and then less important.
Was the person that was
other
like,
guy.
They're gonna blow up the sky.
They're gonna blow up the moon.
Yeah, he was one of the Kami's guards.
Yeah, something
or was
like
he
that.
one of the Kami's forces?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of Ganfor's original.
Yeah. So that happens. That was crazy. And Konus kind of gets her arc or her trajectory gets kind of like
she's doing something.
She gets kind of like blasted into a new trajectory for her character, which I enjoyed.
They tell her that he's gonna destroy the Earth,
and she's like, "I'm gonna risk my life to try and save my people before." Enel brings this whole fucking thing down, and
what else can she do? Honestly,
I know. But Enel, his motives are starting to sort of be uncovered. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding Skypiea and like what exactly Enel wants from it and what exactly it has to offer. Which I find very interesting.
He's got an arc.
He has an arc, like Noah.
Yeah.
Like Nova.
But it's only for 2 people.
Yeah.
Now, because only Nami goes with him.
5 people.
Yeah. It was a party arc. Room for more than enough room for everyone.
Yeah, it is a huge. He could have fit a bunch of people.
And he puts a bunch of gold. Like that's where all the gold went.
A lot of it is built into the arc.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a freaking flying ship, and that'll be awesome once they fly it down.
But yeah.
Or destroy it.
But he wants the endless Vars.
He wants the endless Vars.
Yeah.
So
What's that?
Is it just
It's
Earth?
the Earth.
Land?
Is it just land? Like, dude, just you don't need to take the whole country down with you.
He did say that it was land from like as far as you can see.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the red line. Well, the red line is the land, right? Okay.
The only continent.
Yeah. I don't know how wide it is, or I mean, I guess you could see if you look down, but maybe he's talking about the red line specifically, or maybe he's talking about like not that and some. I don't know.
I doubt it would be the red line because that would be like something that people would be like, oh, that's there. Like he's making a flying ship, right? So I'm assuming he's going to heaven, quote unquote, right? Like this is like the land of the gods, like because we get that whole thing of being like. Kami in Skypiea is not like a designation of actual godhood, but it's just the title of the ruler of Skypiea.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I believe he also implied that at this endless Vars, it would just be the people on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So seemingly wherever they're going, they would be alone.
I thought that was because everyone who wasn't on the ship would die. That's like when they wouldn't get to see Earth because they would like be crashed down to it. But that makes sense. It's probably not Earth. But we didn't talk about how Luffy got swallowed by the fucking snake.
Yeah, he was in a snake for like, 10 chapters.
And he just kept punching the wall.
And the snake was like, no.
Yeah.
Stop
There
it."
was a lot of stuff that I thought was really fun and cool in the little like death games, but also it's so bloated. It goes on for so much longer than it needs to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is a little hard. Like right now, like looking back on it, it's just like, okay, what like important fun, like what things do I want to talk about from there? Because Usopp got a moment. Usopp, who no. Who beat Swamp Guy? Chopper beat Swamp Guy. I did like seeing Chopper fight Swamp Guy. I like seeing Chopper when he gets his little solo fight moments and he has to go fucking balls to the walls. It's very nice.
Usopp and Sanji got downed by the iron guy, the flaming sword. Right?
I believe by Enel. He shows up on their ship, and by the time we even see them, they've just been cooked in an instant.
And Nami was left. Yep.
Yep. And then they have to fight. They have to fight the twins of Santoru.
Oh,
the two other round guys. Which
it's fun. It's fun. I enjoyed the like. Oh, we're twins, and so you do not know which attack is coming from which hands. You know.
They set out an interesting mechanic. There was a lot of comedy that I think didn't work with them. The fart dial, I was not a fan of.
Oh my fucking god! Guys, I've been so silent because I just been thinking about these fart guys this whole time.
Josh hated that fight.
That was too much. I'm glad it didn't last too long. I will say it was nice to see Nami and Ganforn team up.
Yeah.
And take care of these guys real fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some battles. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the battles, but it wasn't anything. A lot of them were not necessarily anything to write home about. There were some interesting. Sorry, guys, I was actually away for a few minutes. I don't know if you guys talked about the Zoro using the Force again.
Nope.
Okay, well he seemed to do that. Oh, Luffy fought Wiper as well.
Luffy fought Wiper for a little bit.
Yeah, Wiper was like, "Hey, this ain't your country. Get out." And Luffy's like, "Oh, my bad." And he turns around and he starts walking away. That was awesome.
Which should be the proper response.
Which is
Sky people.
The freaking white people. Yeah. Like you could learn something from Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, pretty much a lot of sky battles happen. A lot of dial powers are explored.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I had a realization.
What was that?
Tell me.
When Zoro was defeated, and when everyone was defeated except for Nami, basically. I, like, for the first time was like, oh, okay, I wonder how Luffy will be against Enel. And then for the first time, I considered Luffy fighting Enel. For the first time, I considered Mr. Lightning versus Mr. Rubber.
Yeah.
And I could not fucking believe. That was fucking that was crazy.
I was trying to put it together before
that was so crazy.
They read it. I was there when they put it together. They're not lying this
That's
time.
That's great.
I
was so
honestly.
Crazy. I feel like Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I'm not. I feel like it is reasonable for anyone to like make that connection.
Yeah. I was honestly, because I wasn't sure. I wanted to see all y'all's reactions because I didn't know if y'all were gonna be able to be surprised by that or if y'all were gonna be like, okay, when's Luffy gonna show up and be Rubber? Because I saw Hayden read that part for the first time and it was very fun.
Yeah, because I didn't put it together until after he got hit for the first time. Like he gets hit and then he's like standing there and he's like fine, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. Like before the story says it. Because I talked to Clayton a little bit about this. When I always get this thing when I hear like, oh, Luffy, he's made of rubber.
Yeah.
Right. I'm always like, all right, that's like the shorthand of being like, oh, he's just stretchy. 'Cause,
Right.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
I think Mr. Fantastic, right? Where if somebody's like, yeah, Mr. Fantastic's made of rubber, he's still a fleshy guy that you
Right.
can stab. He just can stretch. And it's like shorthand for stretchy powers. And then I was like, no, he is made of rubber.
made
He
of
took a bite
rubber.
of gum.
Yeah.
Took a bite of gum.
And his skin is rubber. Now I think about what Luffy's skin feels like a lot now.
Yep.
I
All right, buddy, you can keep that to yourself. I fucking was waiting for that to happen.
wow.
A bowl of fish nuggets just plummeted to the ground.
It still had fish nuggets.
Don't you dare eat those.
I'm not.
Don't you fucking dare. I've seen this man eat
This
off
is too
of
real.
eat something off of the Fallout floor.
Everyone who's listening this is too real right
Everybody's so uncomfortable.
now. Guys, if you have divorced parents, I'm sorry that you have to hear this right now. This must be
It's
really
not your fault.
unpleasant.
It's not
for you.
your
It's your
fault.
fault. It's your fault.
Okay.
It's probably my fault.
What were we just talking about?
Rubber.
Rubber.
Was talking about what Luffy's skin.
How did you knock that over?
Made of
I
rubber.
don't know.
How did that happen? Yo, ho, So he punches him. He kicks him.
Yeah.
And Enel goes like,
We get the full page reaction image.
That was I was like wondering. I've been wondering about every 2 weeks. I wonder when I'm going to see that.
uh-huh.
Now I don't have to wonder anymore.
Yeah.
I did not really think that it. I didn't consider that. I thought that face was like par for the course for One Piece.
Okay, but I was
Where it
worried that
like,
was going to be
oh,
the
I'm
case.
going to be seeing stuff like this every week or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
I could see why. So I just realized, or I didn't realize until I saw it that face is specifically very famous.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't. I've seen the face, but like unless you really scrutinize it, it's kind of hard to tell it's Enel.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm an idiot. I didn't put it together till they said he's a rubber man. At first, I was like, "Of course, Luffy is just tanking this hit because he's fucking invincible." And then I was like, "Oda, I'll fucking kill you." And then they start looking confused, and I was like, "Oh, is there actually a reason?" I loved that they're natural enemies. I'm like, I've been so excited to read further because I want to know how far that goes.
Yeah.
That feels more like
the natural enemy of God.
yeah. That to me that kind of feels to me like a fight. I really like I like that about a lot of like JoJo fights is when because a lot of the times they'll have opposing abilities or abilities that like counteract
it's like
each other.
Pokemon. You put a ground Pokemon versus an
Lightning
electric
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I don't know anything
Yeah.
about Pokemon, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, I think I just see him as literal rubber just because I feel, I don't know, like that. I feel like even if he's not made of literal rubber, like just knowing the writing style seems to be like they're just going to treat him like rubber in every circumstance.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
And they also, because the way his stretching power, he doesn't just stretch. He very much like has the properties of rubber.
Yeah.
Like he needs to use like
It's
kinetic
squishing,
energy.
Yeah.
And it always snaps back into place.
Your freezer's like, it's like won't close all the way. Never mind.
Okay.
Nobody could hear. I don't think anyone hear what Josh just said.
No.
He's complaining about our
How
house.
dare you?
I think it's really satisfying too, because it's watching Enel. He just tears through everybody. Like Enel does not really get challenged except for by Wiper,
Yeah.
who also,
With
even
the
though the
sea
rejectile
prism.
does suck, it sucks that it doesn't kill him. I still really enjoy that moment of Wiper hitting him with the sea prism and killing him.
Yes.
And then Enel, because he's just been so untouchable. It's like Enel's dead. We finally did it, and he fucking starts his heart again.
Didn't believe it for a second that he. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much just like Enel is all powerful. There's nothing any of you can do about it. And honestly, like if Luffy was not rubber, Luffy would be fucked against Enel.
Yeah.
That's one of the most fun things about it.
It's very
I like
fateful.
the way this final fight is shaping out to be. I've liked all of Enel's combat.
Yeah.
I thought it's been kind of awesome to see how like crazy powerful he is. This new Rumble fruit is like, it's an upper echelon of Devil Fruit abilities that we haven't seen the likes of yet.
Clayton and I were talking a little bit about it last night, just because we don't have a lot of time. But I'm like, I really love lightning powers, and I was talking a little bit
Yeah.
about how I'm like, it feels like Anel is going to be like, after we beat him, it might be a bit before we see lightning powers again, and I really enjoy lightning powers. And we were just talking about like the Logia fruits and how like they are so flashy and powerful and makes them really interesting, which is understandable why we've seen a lot of them in opposition to the Straw Hats, because you've got, you know, like Smoker and stuff like that, where it's just like, yeah, these are these like really powerful abilities that it will take the entire crew to be able to beat, you know?
I'm interested for when we get another Straw Hat with a Devil Fruit power.
Yeah.
'Cause right now it's only Luffy and Chopper.
And Nico Robin.
And
And
Nico
Nico
Robin. Which,
Robin, duh,
speaking of
duh,
Nico
duh.
Robin,
Yeah.
I do want to touch on the fact that we got a lore drop in this chunk
We
of chapters.
did.
There's a 100-year gap in history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything with Nico Robin in this section was the best stuff in this whole section.
Yep.
Aside from the Rubber Man versus a Shock Man. She was on her shit. She was excavating. She was like, this belongs in a museum. To everything. She uses the freaking. She just uses those hands so well. She beats that big guy. Yama is his name.
Yes.
Is it?
Who I believe his name is Yama.
Which I was like kind of
Yeah.
like annoyed at first, but then I realized, she's not just like beating him because she's around the ruins. And then, like the second she got out of there, it was
then
like,
she's like, "That's okay.
obviously.
We're out of here now, and I
Yeah.
just gotta say, I won't forgive you." And
Yeah.
just handily decimates him.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
What is she after in the history of the world? Is it just her passion, or is there something that she's looking for in that lost history?
I don't know if anything specific has been said yet, other than the fact that she knows that the Poinglyphs might connect and
Yeah.
What do you mean? What is she after in the history?
Well, okay. Why is she so driven to find this lost history? Is it because is there something in her past that informed her love of history? Is it that she's looking for something? She's looking for information within that lost history.
there's probably no reason, and probably just won't
Yeah.
ever be addressed.
I think she
You're
literally
right.
just is not living in the present.
She time traveled. That's why. Not
That is
Robin
such
time
a
travel.
that's really good.
She is not there. I don't know.
No, that's really good. Yeah.
Oh my god, you're a genius.
I just.
Also, if
that's
you're
what I'm
right,
getting.
Oda's goaded for that. Mm-hmm. Because you're so right.
She does not care about
She's
like,
not. She's just
that's all
stuck
she
in the
cares about.
past.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I interpreted it.
Who
so.
knows?
Clayton is being so careful as to not speak a word.
I mean, yeah, we don't know anything about her yet.
Yeah.
Really, she's still so mysterious, even
Right,
to the audience.
There could be like something in her past. I mean, there is definitely something in her past that has.
She
made
was
her the way
wanted
she is
from
now,
the time she was
but-
8 years old. There has got to be something that she did. Or
we're never going to talk about it. She's just it's just going to kind of be a thing that's never explained.
yeah.
Like all things in One Piece, there is never an explanation for anything.
You're right.
I only have one. There's only one thing I know about her going forward that I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah.
I won't say what it is.
Thank you.
But I only know one. I know one
Meowing?
line that she has that's really.
You just meow at him?
I said, "Man."
Oh man. Okay.
I think we should start meowing whenever we don't want someone to say a spoiler.
I just know a very famous line that she has.
God
and
damn.
yeah, and it
What?
seems like that's gonna be like a capstone for like something she's gonna. I don't know. I should say less. Actually.
We should start punching Josh in the head after every podcast.
No, trust
When
me.
did you learn this?
I
A
think that's
long
why
time
he-
ago.
Okay.
This way.
Then in that case, I can forgive you for that.
Yeah.
Right. Any final thoughts over this little chunk of One Piece?
There's some great chapter covers. Zoro's in a raincoat in one. He's in the rain.
Zoro lost.
Zoro lost.
Zoro lost, and I don't know if that means what it's. I think it
He's
means
gonna
because
kill himself.
Well, because it was it
He's gonna fucking kill himself, guys.
was it just I won't lose in a sword fight against another swordsman.
I think there's a bit of like extenuating circumstances. This was not a duel.
Yeah.
Zoro was not, he was not fresh. He had
Uh-huh.
just come off another fight. and this guy was not a swordsman, I assume that Zoro is not taking that to his honor.
Okay.
I don't actually remember what his reaction is when he wakes up.
Okay.
But
We'll see.
We haven't seen it yet. I don't know if he's. Oh wait, has he woken up yet?
No.
No. Everybody's unconscious except for Robin, Nami, Luffy, and Nell.
Robin is unconscious.
Robin
right?
is unconscious.
No, I saw
What?
Robin.
Woke up a little bit.
Robin told Luffy where he.
Oh
took Nami.
yeah.
I gotta say, I forgot what I was gonna say. I liked Zoro's little bird adventure where he was with the bird and then he gets flown with the bird. The bird has no allegiance to him at all.
Also,
And then
he was like, he was like, why is your head being weird? And it was like, obviously I'm going this way or what? Like, was he supposed to go south? Like, was
he
it
was supposed to go south.
They were supposed to go south.
And he was
and
with
he's
a
walking
bird,
with this bird,
with a
walking
south bird.
With the south bird. He just does that. He's like, why are you so weird? Why is your head all weird?
I love this trope of Zoro being
It's funny.
directionless. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, have we talked about the snake?
Just how awesome it was.
The giant snake?
I just like
snake.
the
Giant
design.
snake got
I
punched.
loved the reveal that he was in the snake.
Yeah, it was funny.
Where's the kid right now? Where's the little shit? The
was
kid.
Arya?
The
rescued
kid?
by
Oh yeah.
Pierre, right?
Um,
Pierre.
Pierre, no, she went with Luffy. So last we saw her, she was guiding Luffy to where
yeah.
Enel was.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't see her. She's probably hiding somewhere because she doesn't want to be killed by Enel.
Uh-huh.
Or no, maybe she joined Nami. I don't remember exactly.
I also don't remember.
Yep.
Um,
I
We'll
don't know.
find out.
We will find out, I think.
We
I
sure will.
loved the moment of her talking about how I can feel voices fading. I can feel people dying
Yeah.
in this battle with the mantra.
Uh-huh.
That was really crazy.
Yeah.
I really enjoy mantra and the way it's used in this section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But with that,
Go on to our little final section
little
of the
final
the
bit.
podcast here. Josh, you have a little a question for us
A
to end out the
question?
podcast, correct?
Yeah. Guess what, guys? It's
What?
question
What?
time. This is our segment of the podcast where one of us asks the other
question.
three people here a question, and we ask the question to just everyone in the audience too. So comment down
Oh
below.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
for
Leave a
this one,
5-star
it'd be-
review. Also, follow us on Twitter at Straw Hat.
Also, send me $20 on Venmo.
Yeah.
At Hat Crusade, Straw Hat Crusaders Pod. It's like something like that. Follow, subscribe on YouTube. So what does everyone think? And say, you can say this for any number of characters that we love in One Piece or JoJo. What are some ideal fan cam songs that you would assign? We could start with the Straw Hat Crew. We can start with the Crusaders.
Now, for someone who is maybe not as well, we're thinking of our answers. Someone who's maybe not as well versed in what a fan cam is. Can you tell us what that is?
So a fan cam or a fan edit, it's like
an edit,
it's,
if you know what.
It's like a little video that you see on TikTok of like your fave, just like a cut together of them being awesome to like a nice song, and maybe there's a filter over it. You know?
A montage.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, a
the
tribute
character.
video.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
you've seen an AMV on YouTube, it's like that but shorter.
Oh, I've seen AFV on TV.
wow.
Guys, who do you think would be the best host of America's Funniest Home Videos?
I've been
Sanji.
training my whole life.
It's gonna be Sanji. Anyway,
Oh.
yeah. Anyone have some? Anyone have? For me, I'm gonna start Sanji. I've already talked to Clayton and Adriana about this, and everyone here actually. I won't say the third guy's name, but
Wow.
Sanji to me, like if you ever hear the song, it's called Radio Song by Superbus. It is so good as a song, and to me, it encapsulates Sanji's vibe. And I think that song I'm gonna make this fan cam. I'm gonna edit a fan cam of Sanji to Radio Song.
Yeah.
The one that's in my head right now clearly is Usopp to Hey Ya by Outkast.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
I like that.
Have you guys heard the song "She's My Caller" by Gorillaz?
How's that one go? Sing it.
She's my caller.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I've
She's
heard
the
that.
one I'm running with. She's the one I'm running with. She's the one I'm running with. She's my collar. That's Nico Robin's song.
That
Shit's
makes
awesome.
sense.
Yeah.
I feel. I don't know why my brain went right to this. I feel like I could see. Do y'all know the song "Rodeo" by Lil Nas X?
Yeah.
I could see
Yes.
Jotaro with that. That feels good for him.
You know,
That's awesome.
Don't Blame It on the Boogie by
Yes.
I think I could see one to Luffy. I think you could fit Luffy in there. And hear me out here.
Okay.
I could see one to
Alessi?
Zoro.
I knew you were gonna say
I could
Zoro.
see Zoro.
I knew it.
I could see Zoro
You
on
said,
that
"Hear
shit.
me
You know,
out."
you
That's so
edit
funny.
just like the fun little Zoro parts
Yeah.
into there.
I think Zoro would be "It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring."
Oh, how does that one go? Can you sing it? Can you sing it for us?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
Raining, it's pouring.
All right. Red Right Hand by
Red
Nick
Right Hand
Cave
is really
a
good,
good
yeah.
Zoro song or a good Nico Robin song.
Just being awesome song.
Being awesome song.
Polnareff's gonna have "Creep" by Radiohead.
Oh, that's right. This is very similar to our karaoke
Yeah.
song, but a little different.
Polnareff
in
is
context.
YMCA by the Village People.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be the.
I honestly, I never really thought about this. The Crusaders look like the Village People. Like they've all
What?
got their own little weird outfit. Like they really remind me of the Village
Oh,
People
shit, I
in
have to
general.
look that up. That's
Probably
so
on
funny.
purpose.
Damn.
And that's probably on purpose and
Probably.
on period. On fleek.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Joseph
Mine didn't come up with the JoJo one.
Joseph would be
Tequila. Tequila
yeah.
song.
Joseph would probably be
Just poker face.
or Good Form by Nicki Minaj.
What's good for? I don't know that one. How's it go?
I'm in the no. I'm not gonna fucking.
I never know. Insane of you.
And
Yeah.
when he eat the cookie, he got good form.
Oh.
I let
okay.
him eat the cookie because it's good for him.
Okay.
Josh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I expect
What?
all these edits to be made.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You get on that, Adriana.
We're gonna get our-
We got
Okay.
that.
Fucking.
Our production team is already on it.
Yeah.
I walked right into that.
Yeah, and by that I
Damn it.
mean Adriana.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, should we get to homework?
I think so.
So I'm desperate for some homework, but I can already tell you what it is. You don't even have to say it.
Do it.
It's the next 2 volumes plus. Well, no, I didn't actually tell
For
me.
One Piece?
Yeah.
Sure thing. It is going to be the next 2 volumes plus 4 chapters, meaning that we are going to read up to the end of Skypiea at chapter 303.
Wow, we're hitting 300.
We're hitting 300.
We're passing 300.
Holy
Holy
fuck.
shit. Let's
Yeah.
see. What was okay? The 100. Was there a big moment for
Yes,
200? What
Luffy
was?
dies. No, wait, no, that was.
No, that was 100.
200.
Because 100. The first 100 was them getting onto the Grand Line.
Yes.
200 was Clayton. Tell me.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm looking
Shut
up
the
right now.
fuck up, then.
Everyone
Shut
be
the
quiet. Everyone
fuck
be quiet.
up.
I got it. Shut up.
Um,
They Water Luffy. 200 is
Is it
Water
actually?
Luffy.
Is it actually? That's crazy.
200 is when he.
Well, that's like Water Luffy is like when
he's
he
when
first
he's
starts,
fighting. It's when he's.
Water Luffy is when he first starts getting like a little bit of advantage on Croc, right?
No, that's way too early though.
Yeah. Hold on. This
No, it is. He's
he's fighting Croc.
fighting
here.
Croc.
Water Luffy.
Wow, that was.
I'm Water Luffy.
Water Luffy, I'm Water Luffy.
That was 80 chapters ago. Can you believe him fighting Croc? Him saving fucking what's her name? Blue girl.
What's her name?
Vivi?
Oh my god.
Saving-
cried.
You're
motherfucker.
out. You're out of the
So-
podcast.
Wow,
Shut up. So many
wow.
names. Him saving Vivi was 80 chapters ago. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
They've been in Skype a while. It has been a while.
Yep.
Are we gonna get the return of Water Luffy?
I won't say.
Why can't you just tell us?
Why can't you
Yeah,
tell
why
us
can't
the
you for
story?
once in our life tell
Well,
us
water-
what
I
happened?
told you so much about
I-
JoJo that you haven't asked for.
I want-
Why can't you tell me?
I want Clayton to like we're like the sick kid in Princess Bride, and we're like in bed, and Clayton's our like grandpa that we hate at first, and then but then he tells us the story.
But he's so charming
and
that
we
you just
love it by the
He
end.
plays Columbo or whatever.
yeah.
Is it Columbo?
Oh my God,
it's
is that
Columbo.
Columbo?
Really?
You're right.
Whoa.
It fucking is.
That's crazy.
Damn.
What's the
Okay.
JoJo homework?
The JoJo homework.
The JoJo homework.
What do you hope the JoJo homework is?
60.
18 episodes.
That would take you halfway
I would
through the
not be
part.
done. I would not be done in time either.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna watch the next 5 episodes
Whoa.
of Diamond is Unbreakable. That's gonna take you through 3 battles. I won't tell you
Okay.
what they're about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to start you off a little slow because the next battle is like things get cooking.
Okay.
And so I want to just get your initial impression of part 4 before we really got into it. I'm going to try to have the chunks be relatively long and not like, I don't want to waste too much time with like not doing a lot of episodes. But I will say, going into part 4, there is a lot of world building. There's a lot of different avenues that you go through this little town. And it's kind of got to take you on a tour of the town before we really get into, the business.
Uh-huh.
So expect a little bit of slice of life. I don't know. Maybe. There's no fights. There's not going to be any fights for 20 episodes.
Nobody fights.
Cool.
Yeah.
Works for me.
But yeah, next 5 episodes. I don't have to watch these with you, but I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. But, we'll see. We'll see what the fuck happens.
We'll see what happens.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Is that all for today?
I think that's it.
Wow. Well,
So with
I
that,
guess with that.
I guess with that,
We love you. Good night.